I always said, if we ever did something together, oh man, it would be awesome.
It'd be out of control.
And John would be billing us out of jail.
Yeah.
So I said to her, I said, stand still. And she's like, what? I said, stand still. I kneeled down and I picked her up and her ass was in my face and we're walking down the line.
My sister said he left as Richard Finnegan and he came back as John Lennon.
I offered the producers of PVR.
I'm after refill, actually. I'm getting a little low here.
And I turned around and I said, you just missed 10 grand. He goes, why? And I said, because that was me being a dick.
8G hit, and it hit so freaking hard. I'm like, maybe I should have landed in the grass.
I can hear your laugh from here, not through the screen, but from.
And I left there feeling like a bag of dicks.
Oh, did she just say a bag of dicks?
Yes, she did.
We had to test a couple of my mechanics as terrorists and put them in the cars to.
If you're not hustling, you're sleeping.
How'd you pull that off, Chad?
Well,
You got some kind of magic wand or just a big wand?
Hey-o. Man, we could talk for weeks about this stuff.
Hey, everybody, we're back. This week, we've got a great show for you. I'm just here to tell you. We got a guy that went from jet boats to mini trucks to Hot Rod Magazine to Roadkill to Finnegan's Garage to Faster with Finnegan. And that's right, Mike Finnegan. We got him tonight. So that's the deal. We're going to go through the whole thing. He's got some crazy boat in his garage. Looks like an LS engine from the manifold. I couldn't see everything because the two turbos were in the way. So this guy knows a thing or three about horsepower. So that's where we're going to go. So let's go to a commercial. Me and John are going to chit chat about the world in general and why someone's getting drunk for no reason. Not John. And we'll be back. Hit it.
It sounded too good to be true. A dealership that's been in business over 65 years. Terrific deals and thousands of repeat customers.
You know what I love about this dealership?
What's that?
It's a big building where they sell cars, but that's not important right now. I love their 5-star customer reviews.
See why more people are uncovering great deals at KennedyAuto.com. John Kennedy Ford. Enjoy your ride.
Dude.
Yo.
I told you I hit most of it.
It was close. You're hitting the guardrail, but it was close.
It's like that episode of SpongeBob where Gary's racing and he careens into the guardrail and the shell breaks up. You see the pistons going up and down.
Yeah, people don't understand. There's like a whole list of shit Lou's supposed to go. It's about 6 minutes worth of speech. What's he do? Bang, 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 bang. I'll see you later. Hit the commercial.
What can I say? So you got so tonight, guys. Before we get while me and John are talking, I want to tell everybody. Right, this is what we're gonna do. At 8:45, we know a lot of you guys are putting comments up and questions up on the right hand side on. Is it Is it YouTube or is it StreamYard?
They all come into one side, one column on our side. They're all jammed in, and people don't know that either. That we see them all together, and it's hard to keep up. So wherever you're writing from, it comes through the show.
So what happens is Brad, our producer, will put stuff on the bottom, scrolling across. At 8:45. We're gonna look over there, and we're gonna hit some of the questions and see if get Mike to answer them. That's what we're gonna do tonight. We're gonna try something different. Can't promise anything, but that's what we're gonna try. All right?
Yeah, get your question up, and we'll circle back on it and see if we can address it, because there are some good questions. The thing is, it's hard for us to be talking about a point in time then talk about a car, then get back to that same point in time and interrupt the flow. I mean, sometimes we could do it, sometimes we can't. I feel bad for people to have great questions.
Yeah.
And we never answer them.
So we're trying to make it better for everybody. Because John stumbles around a lot. I
do. That's me. That's what my brain sounds like. My brain sounds just like that. Sometimes words come out. That's all you hear is bang, 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 bang. That's why I'm drinking tequila.
I got in touch with Fitzy of Fitzy's Fabrication. He's a Newfoundlandese by. I tell you what, it's cold up there still. And he's debating whether or not he wants to come on. I think it'd be a hoot. I already asked him for a bottle of Screech. That's the rum that they make up there. It's like drinking asphalt. It's phenomenal.
How are you going to get that across the border?
Dude, I'll figure out a way.
You know, guys.
That's what I do.
Take it down. Take it down to the base. They'll ship it in.
The base is gone. The base on Newfoundland is gone. Yeah, it's gone. They destroyed. They tore it all down. It's all gone. But yeah, so I mean, my thing is if I can get a bottle of Screech, I mean, it wouldn't be the first time I smuggled something across the border I wasn't supposed to.
Look at you, man.
Not the first time.
Hello. What's with the back? You still getting surgery Thursday?
Yes.
Next Thursday,
March 10th, 4 o'clock in the morning. They're cutting me open. Yeah,
4
can't
o'clock
wait.
in the morning. That's the middle of the night.
Yeah, I got yeah, I know. I'll have like an hour's worth of sleep.
You have to be there at 4?
I gotta be I gotta be there at 4.
You gotta fast. You can't eat the day before.
I'm the first guy on the table.
Yeah,
I'm guessing I'm the first guy on the table. Yeah.
Yeah, you're probably 8 o'clock, 7:30, 8 o'clock.
And the doctor already said that I probably won't be. Tina will probably see me about 10 o'clock in the morning.
But that's about right because it's by the time you come out of it. Yeah, he's going to be the Bionic Man. Today's inflation, he's the $15 million man. I'm gonna hit that copay that you have for TRICARE when you go out because I didn't go to the VA. I'm going civilian doctor, and you got to do $100,000 catastrophic cap. I believe I'm gonna hit that as soon as I check in. Yeah.
So that's where we are with that. And we just go from there, man. What can I say?
Next Tuesday, talk to Brad. He can do it. We got to figure out whether we're going to do Tuesday and Wednesday. Tuesday is Bogey.
Yes, Bogey. And I'm gonna text her tomorrow just to make sure that she's on board. She should be on. She hasn't told me that she's not. So
get her email, give it to Brad because we got to send over the outline and everything else.
Yeah, did I ever do an intro text? Do you remember?
Dude, you send so much shit over. I can't remember who's who.
I'll do another intro text and ask her for her email address, and we'll get Brad so she can do pictures, so she can send pictures if she wants. And so I got Fitzy's garage, and I got this other guy, Adrian. He's like Rob Ida, man. The dude, he said he's game, so I just got to get him. I just got to get him together, get him some dates. Yeah, he's a sheet metal guy like Rob Ida. I'll find him on Instagram. Dude's doing crazy stuff. Like
next
gorgeous.
Wednesday's Hotchkiss.
What's Wednesday? Wednesday's Hotchkiss?
9th. Tuesday Bogey, Wednesday Hotchkiss.
So I can do Bogey and not John. So,
you can't do Hotchkiss?
No.
It's the night before.
Oh, yeah. Okay, then I can do both. Yeah.
You won't be yourself because
I had a moment.
Yeah.
I had a moment. It's okay. I got to figure it out.
Yeah.
I don't know what I'm doing half the time. It's okay. Yeah, so we'll do it. I can do Hotchkiss.
Okay.
We're good. We're making
16th. We got Rick. 16th, we got Rick Dorr.
Okay.
I like his shit because I'll tell you what, when I was building my first 51 Merc, I was checking him out for design and concept and lines. There's Rick.
Yeah,
if you guys don't know Rick Dorr, follow him on Facebook, Instagram. Tell him you're looking forward to him coming on the show. Yeah. We have similar tastes. That's why, he does. He used to do a lot of fat fender shit. Now he's doing hand built, one of a kind he's got, I think I saw some of that guy's work.
Dude, crazy good. I hit the button. Oh, there it is. The bottom half of that quarter where the bottom body line
I saw that guy online.
Made the whole thing from scratch. The whole, just the
Yeah,
whole
I did. I
court.
saw that.
Crazy.
Yeah, I saw it.
Crazy.
Yeah, I was watching some of that one. That's and you know what? I may be able to squeeze one out, but to do both left and right, my brain doesn't work that way.
I think he did that whole body.
Wow.
Because there's tons of pictures of it, dude. I mean, the dude's got skills.
Cool.
I don't know him. I've been following him on Instagram, so I was like, you know what? I'm just gonna ask him. I'm just gonna ask him.
Also, a couple other things. We have it's Ralph. I know we call him Giles, but it's Giles, I think is how you say his last name correctly. He told me, and I got to tell you, I don't remember.
Way to go, John.
Now, Mike Finnegan may know him personally because Dodge actually sponsored Roadkill from the jump, right?
They sponsored Roadkill when I went.
Ralph
Nights. They were there for Roadkill Nights. Yeah.
Yeah, Ralph is head of design of pretty much all the automobile lines that fall under Chrysler and Fiat. And he's got a whole giant list, but he's got some cool shit. Dodge is supposed to run all, I think the 2028 is supposed to be all electric, which I don't know how that's going to work out.
Yeah. Well, it's going to be great because Biden just released what was it? Like they're going to build like 50,000 new charging stations. He said it on the State of the Union address.
Yeah.
We're going to build 50,000 of them. It's going to solve all our problems.
Yeah, I don't even want to think about the future. I'd be lucky to make it to the 11th. My birthday's March 10th. I'm going to be in Miami. So guess what? Ba-boom. While you're getting all caught up, I'll be on.
I don't understand.
There we go.
There it is.
Yeah, that's me. The
I don't
sausage king
understand
of
why
Chicago.
you're not there. I mean, I don't know why you're still not there. I don't understand.
I got too much shit to do. Look at this. We got to find old pictures of Lou. My shit's old. There we go. There's Lou.
It is. There it is.
Yeah. That's 1977 Elvis. That's about 2 weeks before he kicked the bucket.
That was before he had the peanut butter.
That was the heavier
sandwich.
Lou. That was the heavier Lou. Yeah, right. That's just before he got on the toilet.
That was a Christmas party. That was a Christmas party, and Tina said we got to dress up. I was like, all right, no problem. So I don't know. Did I tell you guys this the other day?
Yeah, you started saying something about it.
So we get there, and everybody at the law firm is wearing tuxedos and dinner gowns, and we show up as Elvis and his naughty elf.
Oh yeah, I'm sure that was.
By the end of the night,
she doesn't work there anymore.
No, she left it. By the end of the night, one of the husbands was a sheriff. By the end of the night, we're standing in the parking lot of the law firm with ARs, smoking cigars and drinking.
Oh boy.
It was starting to spiral out of control.
Yeah. Take Elvis to jail. He's left the building. Let's get Mike out. It's 10 after. Let's get Mike.
Let's do a commercial. We're going to bring Mike Finnegan in. You guys sit tight and hold on. It's going to be a good ride. Hit it.
Ever wonder what happened to your favorite Hollywood stars? Some are screen legends.
That's a Cadillac.
Some made history.
What do you say? Is it the new Bluesmobile or what?
One thing's for sure, they all have more to tell. Road trip with me, Lou Santiago, as I hunt down these iconic cars.
The car's actually stolen. My kids said, Dad, you're not going to believe what's over here.
And take you behind the scenes to get the story behind the story.
I'm going to have the car do the same thing. Pow, bang, wow.
From the designers who built them, the stars that drove them, and the lucky motherfuckers who stumbled across them. Where was his car when you found it? Pull in there. Dude, tell me you have your hands on it. You're not gonna believe some of this stuff.
Mike.
There he is.
I would watch that.
Well, we've been trying to put that together for a while, and we haven't been able to do it. But the funny thing is, John Pitt, that's how old is that, John? 4 years old? 3 years old?
Yeah, 3 or 4. But I interviewed Barris about 3 or 4 years, spent the day with him. It got dark. He was walking me outside in the dark, and he told me his whole entire life story. And the guy could tell a story, had me laughing so hard. Just the terms he would use, the things he would say, burning down his girlfriend's garage. He just had some killer stories. Lou and I talked about actually bringing Joji, his daughter, on, and showing some of the clips to have her address some of the stuff. But Mike, I'll tell you what, I don't know if you ever met Barris.
No.
But it was He just went on and on and on. It was the funniest shit. I was with two friends of mine. We filmed the whole thing. But people are like, how old is that? Because they look at him knowing he's passed about 5 years ago or so.
Yeah.
But yeah, he got into it. I mean, from the jump, he was
I
explaining
keep
everything.
telling John we need to make it a special and just air it one night. You know, right here, we intro it and just let it run. But John won't do it. I don't know why. He's holding out on us. I think he's building.
Let's back up. But to tell you where the concept of the cars came up is Lou and I were on a phone just talking about this and that and this. And here I found, long story short, the guy that owns the 50 Merc from the movie Cobra that Stallone drove.
Good movie.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's where a lot of people got tied into the Merc and, kicked it off. I see that all the time whenever pictures online about it. But that guy bought it from Stallone. And the story was Stallone went to shoot Rambo, had it in a storage locker. He switched agents and managers while he went to shoot Rambo. Those guys said, guess what? We're no longer making sure your bills are paid for the months that you're away.
Yeah.
Somebody, just like the TV show, bought the garage, the storage unit, and got his car. So he gets back, all his shit is gone.
Yeah.
Next thing, he doesn't know where, who, what, things are all spun around. Next thing, he sees it's up for auction. I think it was Mika, one of the two. But
it was Barrett. It was Barrett.
Was it Barrett?
I'm pretty sure it was Barrett.
Stallone sees it up for auction, goes, wait a minute, calls him up, says, that's my car. Explains the story. They tell him, get lost. He says, no, wait a minute. Here, I got the title. So he gets his lawyers involved. His lawyers jump in and say, you used his likeness, you used his name, you pay us, or give the car back. So they say, well, here's the car.
Yeah.
He got it back, and after a short period, sold it to, a friend of mine who, long story. I mean, that story in itself, to hear that and find it and have it all confirmed. But there was one hero car. I think it was 3 total. 2 were trash. That one was actually Stallone's, the one that's pivoting around on that intro.
I kind of
dude, it's crazy. It's crazy. We found about a dozen cars from various movies and criminals and you name it. We found it. It was insane. It would be really good if we could ever get it done.
Oh, yeah, I would watch it. That's like one of the few automotive shows I would sit down and watch that, because all those cars, I mean, TV and movies are what got me into cars to begin with. So like, some of those ones you'd go find, I'm totally interested in. So
yeah. Well, and the story gets even crazier with that show. John pitched it in May, and then it was like August, early September. I get this phone call from this guy because I was still doing Car Fix. I get this phone call. Lou, I got the perfect show for you. You won't get in trouble. It's going to be in-house. It's going to be on Discovery. This is you. And he starts describing the show. I said, dude, that's my show. He's like, what do you mean? I said, that's the show that me and John just pitched like 2 months ago. He's like, no. And I'm like, yeah. And so he gives me I said, look, I said, I don't care if they do it, but we want to at least get creator credit, and something. We need to get something out of it. We don't care if you do it. So then so he goes, well, I'm going to have him call you. So some lady from the production company calls me and she's, this isn't your show. Da, 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 da. I said, okay. I said, did they give you a list of cars, 10, 12 cars? And she goes, yeah. I said, you need to get it. Well, why do I need to get it? I said, just get it. I'm not trying. I said, I'm not trying to be an ass. Just get it. I named off all the cars. She hung up on me.
Shady. Like I've legit had the same thing happen where like I didn't know any better. So I'd come up with the ideas, stuff I wanted to do, and I would tell people. And the next thing you know, I'd be like, hey.
Yeah, there it is. Right there.
Yeah, and that's what they do, man. It's crazy. You're better off keeping it to yourself, starting your own production company, and putting it online, and you make the bulk of the money.
If you're on television, then you get these production companies that come out of the woodwork that pitch you ideas, but they won't tell you anything about them because they don't want you taking that idea somewhere else.
Yeah,
so they're always
they don't know about it. They don't know how they want to talk to you about a car show, but they don't know cars. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah. Oh, 9 times out of 10, they don't have a clue about cars, but 9 times out of 10, they want you to do something and make a show, but they won't tell you anything about it until you say yes and sign a contract, and then they'll tell you what it is, and then you're like, well, that's lame. I don't want to do that. This is why I've never done anything else.
Mike, let's get into how you did get into cars, because I was doing some research and reading and checking out interviews. And the funny thing that I saw, which you could probably confirm, is that you worked at Circuit City installing head units. And I mean, I guess, I mean, that's not your first automotive, but out of high school, somewhere around, or being a teenager.
That was the first job.
Yeah, tell us about what that was about. Because I think people want to know, what makes you tick and where'd you get your skills from?
So I got into cars because of the A-Team, Knight Rider, and the Dukes of Hazzard. Like those 3 TV shows specifically. I was like 69 Charger, Invincible, You Can Jump Them. I love this. Knight Rider, Turbo Boost. The A-Team van, like they had a Foot Locker with AKs that came out of it or whatever it was. That van was indestructible. BA Baracus was a badass. So TV got me into cars, but my first job was bagging groceries, and I was heavy into sports as a kid, but then I wanted to drive, and my folks were the kind of people that weren't going to give me a car. So my dad was like, "You want a car? Get a job." And I don't think he thought I would like do that, but I quit sports. Got a job bagging groceries, grades went in the toilet. I became the black sheep of the family. But the thing they did, which was really cool, was they whatever I saved up for that first car, they would match. And so I saved up like $1,200 and they matched it. And with $2,400, I went car shopping. And back in the day, like $2,400 got you a lot. Like the car, and my dad was not a car guy, so my dad sadly made me pass on a lot of really good cars. Like the first car I went to test drive was a 63 Nova Super Sport 327 Power Glide. My dad goes, "You can't drive this on the highway, it's only got 2 gears." The second car was a Super Duty Trans Am, and
oh my god,
the seller admitted that he had taken the catalytic converters off of it, and my dad goes, that sounds too expensive, dude, you can't fix that, so pass on that car.
2,400. What year are we talking? What year was this?
This is 90. I graduated 93, so this was around 91. I bought my first car before I had a license. The third car he passed on was a Mustang GT 289 car. It had air conditioning, but the belt wasn't on the compressor. My dad was, dude, that's too expensive. Like, no.
Oh my god. Oh my god.
I end up in a beige Camaro because that one ran, just like that, but it had a spoiler, and the only reason I bought it was it had a 4-speed and it had big ass tires on the back, which went flat the first week I drove the car, and then I was broke and I ended up on tiny Uniroyal Tiger Paws that just weren't look nearly as cool. So yeah, like my dad did not know a lot about cars, and he was big on maintenance and not modifying anything.
Right.
And so I took high school auto shop for 2 years, and it was awesome, and I didn't learn anything at it because we worked on Briggs and Stratton motors and we did brakes on a Cadillac. And so that's all I learned about in high school auto shop. I just knew I just love these things and I wanted to race them. I wanted to go faster. And so I didn't have any money, so I just kept buying tools and breaking stuff and like just kind of self-taught myself to work on them because I couldn't afford to pay anybody to work on them. And the job at Circuit City was interesting because I went in there to get a car alarm put in my truck because I had totaled the Camaro and I ended up in a mini truck. So I went in there to get an alarm put in my truck, and they were so desperate for people to work there that they offered me a job, even though I didn't know anything I was like, I'm paying you to put this alarm in. You sure you want to give me a job? And they did. And so that was like my first job in automotive was working at Circuit City, putting head units and radios and car alarms and stuff. And I sucked at it, but I learned a lot. And I met people that were hugely influential in my life. Like at the time, I had a '94 Toyota pickup that I bought brand new. Just complete stripper model, no power steering, no power door locks, no air conditioning. Hell, the back bumper was optional in '94.
Yeah.
And I bought this and I just drove it around stock. But one of the guys that worked at Circuit City, his roommate was in a mini truck club, and I went over to their apartment.
It was over.
Yeah, I went over to their apartment one night after work, and when we drove into the driveway, I see this '94 Toyota that looked just like mine, except it was bagged and body dropped, just sitting flat on the ground. And this guy was body dropping this thing in the carport of their apartment. And I was just like, this is the coolest thing I've ever seen in my life. How do I do this? You know? Yeah. And I didn't know anything. I literally knew nothing. But back in the day, like mini truck clubs were really cool. Like they were like, you like this? Yeah, I like this. So I wasn't even in the mini truck club, but two of the people from that club came to Circuit City, took my truck, didn't tell me why, and brought it back at the end of my shift, and it was lowered. Like they had put 4-inch blocks in it, cranked the torsion,
really,
and brought it back lowered on the stock wheels. And I went to a few meetings, and then I was in the club. Like it was amazing. And
holy
those
shit.
dudes to this day, I'm still friends with some of them. The guy with the mini truck in the carport, his name is Gary Bell. He owns a shop called Define Concepts in California. He does all of the displays for like Alpine car audio and just builds just epic audio video systems. And half the people I knew from the mini trucking days are running companies in the automotive market now. Like it's amazing.
That's pretty cool.
How influential mini truckers became, you know, like we took stuff from everybody. Like hot rodders channeled their hot rod. Mini truckers invented the body drop.
Yeah.
You know, low riders and hot rodders had hydraulic suspensions. Mini truckers took that concept and made the hydraulics actually ride good and not leak.
Yeah.
You know, and so
you're right.
I'm hugely proud of all the people in that scene because the stuff they contributed to this hobby is just huge to me.
Yeah, so, that's awesome.
Mike, what happened to the Camaro?
I was driving too fast. Oh god, that's a good story actually.
Too fast. Too fast.
So it never rains in Southern California, but it rained for like 2 weeks straight my junior year of high school. And it rained so much that the buses weren't running and my brother didn't have a ride home from school. Well, my mom drove an 82 Corvette and she was like, I can't get your brother from school. And I'm like, I got air shocks in the back of my Camaro. I'll just pump them up. I'll go get him, you know? And so that's what I did. I aired up the air shocks, which had no bearing on the situation whatsoever, but it was an excuse to drive the car.
And I was
I was driving way too fast. And I wasn't speeding, but I was going like down a hill. The speed limit was like 45. Everybody's going 20. They're way too slow for me. So I pull out to the left and just start bombing past people at probably 35 miles an hour. But the road turns and there's just a river going across it. there's legit no drainage in Southern California because it doesn't rain. And so I can see this river coming and I'm like, oh hell. So I brake, nothing happens. I downshift, nothing happens. I must have said, oh shit, like 3 times before I finally went head on into a wall and then sideways into a light pole. And it shortened the nose of the Camaro probably about 10 inches. And it caved in the driver's door, which hit the driver's seat and ripped it out of the floorboard and just laid me in the passenger seat.
Holy shit, dude.
It blew out every window of this car. Somewhere on Instagram, I posted photos of this thing. Like this thing is shorter and U-shaped. It knocked the rear end out of the car. I totaled it.
Damn.
And not a mark on me though, because old Chevy, you know. And so
that's
that
from
car
watching the Dukes of Hazzard. You were all prepped because watching
the
Dukes.
He knew what to do.
You can hear Waylon Jennings.
You got loose when you're crashing. And so so that car gets totaled. I end up driving my mom's 86 Buick Skylark, which the only redeeming of that car, the only redeeming value of that car was it was front wheel drive, and if you worked the e-brake just right, you can make the back of it hop off the ground. Like, gas brake, e-brake, and the back end would hop off the ground. But other than that, that car sucked. And so from there, it was just a series of used cars that leaked in my dad's driveway and pissed him off. And it legit wasn't until I got the job at Hot Rod Magazine where my dad was finally like, all right, you're not a total loser, you know? Like, you should still quit screwing around with cars and buy, but you're not a total loser anymore. And I was like, Dad, I can't race a house. What am I gonna do with a house? You know?
That's awesome.
But yeah,
that's freaking awesome.
I've probably had 40 used cars.
So I mean, you know, when you stop and think about it, you're one of the pioneers of the whole. We're going to take a car, fix it, and drive it somewhere with Roadkill. How did Roadkill come about?
It was an accident. It was it was a complete accident. So I worked for so I worked for the company that owned Hot Rod Magazine since 2000, and I worked at various automotive magazines like Mini Truckin' Magazine, Off Road Magazine, Sport Truck, like all these different magazines. And they closed Sport Truck one year and laid us all off. And a mutual friend of Freiberger's named Steve Brule called him because Freiberger was looking for somebody to come work at Hot Rod, and they vouched for me, and so he hired me. And one of the first things I did at Hot Rod Magazine was Freiberger had this idea. He's like, I want to take a C4 Corvette and just race it and then just keep cutting it apart and making it lighter and stripping parts off of it and just see what happens. You know, Hot Rod had done that back in the day with Cadillac, and which was a Cadillac. I think it was a Coupe de Ville, might have been a 4-door, where they went to the drag strip and they just kept taking the body apart until it ran, I think, 10s or something. So he wants to find out what happens to a Corvette on a road course when you do the same thing.
Oh my God.
And so we did that. And then right after that, he and I just took a road trip. And I think we went to Rick Payway's house in Arizona to get this 65 or 6 Buick Special convertible.
I remember that. It was white or something. It was a convertible. I remember that. Yeah, I remember that.
And and so we go there, and the thing had sat in the backyard for like 30 years, and it just sunk into the mud, and so the floors were gone, and we were just like, we didn't really have a plan other than get home, and the car was trashed. So we got it running. We grabbed street signs and replaced the floors with street signs, and we drove it home. But we had brought a friend with us who filmed it, and when we got home, he edited it. And at the time, Hot Rod had a YouTube channel, and nobody was really watching it, but we put it on there. And someone at the company saw the video that we had made, and it didn't have a name. It wasn't called Roadkill or anything like that. They saw it, and it just was coincidence that at the time YouTube was trying to go head to head with cable, and YouTube was paying companies to create content and launching channels. And so they were already paying the company that owned Hot Rod Magazine to create a channel and put content on it. And this guy, Angus McKenzie, had saw the video we made and said, keep doing that. So Monday through Friday, we were making Hot Rod Magazine. And on the weekends, we were just taking road trips and filming them. And we didn't know what we were making. Like, we didn't have a format at all. It was just, well, this is what we're going to be doing this weekend, so we're just going to film it. And we actually stole the name Roadkill from a secondary magazine we were about to launch that would companion to Hot Rod. It was a magazine about ludicrous cars that didn't fit into Hot Rod, really weird stuff.
Yeah.
And it was going to be called Roadkill. So we stole the name from that, never launched that magazine, and then gave it the name Roadkill. And for like the first 2 years, I think, we just kept making Hot Rod Magazine while making Roadkill. But then Roadkill just got so big that we had to stop working on Hot Rod Magazine. There just wasn't time for it. And now we're on our 11th season right now.
Yeah, I was ready to say it's been around for a long time.
It blew my mind because at the time, this was new, you know, like YouTube was new. Like having a show that was half hour long was really new. I was on a BlackBerry. I couldn't even watch it, you know. Like at the time on YouTube and like Street Fire, we were watching 30-second videos of car crashes and cats. Like we weren't watching TV, you know. But like it was just right place, right time for me. Like, we never set out to go on TV or make a show. It was just, we'd be doing this anyway, whether they were pointing a camera at us or not. And so we got really lucky,
Man, that's crazy.
When did Dodge step in as a sponsor? And did that change things?
That happened pretty early on. I want to say like the third or fourth year, around 2014. Dodge, they were specifically Tim Kaniskis and some of the other folks that worked at Dodge. They got it. They really understood what we were doing.
Yeah.
And it didn't change the show, which was great. It changed the perception of the show because the logo and the title sequence all suddenly said brought by Dodge. So the next thing you know, all these fans were like, "You've sold out. We're tired of seeing nothing but Dodges." But if you go back and look at the episodes, there'd be like 2 Dodges a year, and the rest were, other weird stuff. So it changed that. But what it did was allow us to do Roadkill nights, which was just mind blowing.
Yeah.
That we somehow played a part in people being able to legally street race on Woodward Avenue. It did that, and then it gave us an influx of like opportunities to do stuff like take a Dodge Viper on a Supercross track, and a 3-way tug of war between some Hellcats and stuff. Like it just gave us access to stuff we never would have.
Yeah,
we wouldn't have dreamt to do any of that stuff had those cars just not be handed to us,
Yeah, right. Yeah.
And the great thing about Dodge was they weren't telling us what to do. So that shootout we did where we had 2 Hellcats, a Charger and a Challenger, and we had a Viper. The original idea for that was to autocross them in a parking lot. But when we got there, I realized the autocross parking lot was next to the Supercross track. I was like, well, why don't we go over there? Like, we autocross all the time. Like, what happens when you take a Viper in the dirt? I don't know. And so we did it.
Oh
they
my
didn't
God.
They didn't know until they saw the episode that we had done that to their cars. And we didn't know that these weren't crusher cars. We thought these cars didn't have VINs and that they were going to get crushed when we were done with them. No, these cars were going to get resold.
Oh,
no.
Yeah. And so the episode, they see it. We have this really awkward phone meeting with I don't know how many people where they're very angry about it. And it must have been like a point of negotiation. I don't know. They're very angry about it. And after that, they're like, so what are we doing next? and so ultimately, the company that owns Motor Trend had to buy those 3 cars back from Dodge. And then I think they gave one of them away. They really weren't that trash. So I'll say this about this. When you take your Hellcat off-road or your Viper, really doesn't wreck it all that much. You use a side skirt and, a good, buffing and detailing, but they really weren't that
good.
So
yeah, that's
Mike.
awesome.
Let's see if we can fix your camera a little bit, because a couple people said that it's blurry, and our producer sent me a note saying, "Can you go down to the settings at the bottom? You see that?"
I look fine to me. All right, I'm going to settings.
Yeah, see if you could hit. I think it's advanced, and see if you can change it to HD. If it's not already HD at 1080.
You're fuzzy. You look like you're out of focus. That's what it is.
Yeah, it's either that or your Wi-Fi is slow where you're at.
Oh, no way. Is it the Wi-Fi? I could
It
go
could be either way.
Nah, don't worry about it, dude. We'll let you stay fuzzy.
Yeah, if we can fix it here, that's cool. But somebody made a comment, and a producer said he could see it from his side. You are a little blurry compared to me and Lou, but that could be anything.
That's so weird because it looks fine here.
Don't worry about it. Ain't no
nobody
big deal.
wants to see me anyway, dude.
Sorry, don't worry about it.
I don't want to see me.
Spotify won't know the difference.
The other thing, do you know Ralph? It's Ralph Giles, the designer from Dodge. You ever meet him?
I know who he is, and I follow him on Instagram, and I think I've met him once, but no, I'm not tight with him. I just know he's designed some amazing cars for.
Yeah. He's coming on the 23rd. So,
dude,
I was hoping you had a horrible story we could share with him.
I really don't. He just seems, it's social media. Who knows what the real deal is? But he seems like a genuinely good dude. So hopefully
it should be a good show, because I want to get into the future and all that kind of stuff and what's around the corner for those guys. Hopefully it's not all electric. That's what they're saying. What do you think about the electric cars? You're old school like us, are you not?
I don't know how they pull it off. So I'm from Southern California. and the power grid can't handle all of us turning our air conditioning on at the same time during
Right,
summer.
right.
So how are they going to have
Same here.
people charging? Let's just say a third of the population goes, "Yep, I'm in. Let's do this," and a third of the population is trying to charge their car at home at night.
Yeah.
I'm not seeing it. I'm really not. Having said that, like I've ridden in a Tesla. It's fast as hell. I'm still in remote control cars, and when LiPo batteries came into remote control cars, that made stuff really fun, but the last thing I'll say is I was recently at a drag strip where a Tesla was making a pass, and I had my back to it. I wasn't watching at the time, and all I heard was a car accident happen, and this car never crashed, but what I heard was tires squealing, nothing, tires squealing, and I turned around because I thought something wrecked.
Yeah.
And it wasn't anything wrecking. It was this car making a pass. And so when you take away the engine noise, you take away everything from the experience as far as I'm concerned. So
yeah, I agree.
Yeah, that's what I was saying about, where at SEMA, where Ford has their experience out front. You take away the sound, because the sound has you turn your head and go, what the hell's going on over there?
Yeah.
You take the sound away from those Mustangs and everything else. You're like, half the picture's missing.
Yeah, it makes it visceral.
I Toyota 2JZ swapped my 68 Charger because of the noise. The performance, I was interested in the performance for sure because I wanted to experience, that legendary motor. But specifically, I put it in there because when the car went down the road, the noise wouldn't match the visual, and I wanted that. And so when you take the noise away from these things, I don't know, most of the experience is gone for me. So
that's what I think. It's going to be hard to swap over. I get it, but it's going to be hard to give that up. I get the pollution.
Did you see that? The electric jet boats?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Water. I don't know if I want that many volts in water. I mean,
yeah, get your feet wet and then grab it.
It's a little scary. It's a little scary. Yeah. See, that shouldn't be electric right there.
No,
it shouldn't.
That works just fine the way it is.
Yeah. Mike, let's get into the because I got to tell you, first time you guys came on my radar is when you guys went up against Rawlings, and I know there was some beef there because they were calling you out, not having time to build your car. Tell us the backstory of what the hell happened there and how much of a dick Richard is, because we had him on. We called him a dick.
So he does not like me. I'm not on his list of favorites. I don't get a Christmas card. Let's put it that way.
I was just gonna say he doesn't send you Christmas cards.
No. I may or may not accidentally have given him the finger live on Facebook. It's out there if you guys want to search for it. So the story behind that is there's Roadkill Nights is happening, and Dodge has this idea to race 2 Hellcat powered vehicles, and they want Gas Monkey and they want us, and so the problem was we were deep into our season filming already, and we couldn't build the car. It was before the crate engine came out, so there was no swap kit for it. There was no standalone wiring harness. There was none of that, and we were already filming all these other things. So the idea of engine and trans swapping a car, there just simply wasn't time for us to do it. The dudes from Gas Monkey knew that. They knew we had sent our car out, and they knew that the only car we had that season that was a Dodge that was going to take the motor was this heavy ass Charger. So they built a Dart on purpose because they knew it would be lighter. And they knew we weren't building our own car, so they took the opportunity to cap on us for that. And we just, we didn't really have a good shot at winning that deal. We were way overmatched. Basically, we flew to Michigan, took possession of the car, I think a day or two before the race, went to a track and just tried to test it, and then went out there and got our butts kicked. And so it wasn't fun for me because I like the building. A lot of the pride for me is the building. And so I don't even care if I'm the one driving it. I like the building. And so for that thing, that whole deal left a sour taste in my mouth because we didn't even wrench on the car. And then we lost. And then we had to stand there and then take it.
Yeah.
So that, the good thing that came about from that whole deal was we got to have Roadkill nights at the Silverdome in the parking lot, which is a once in a lifetime deal. You know, like for 2 or 3 years after that, if you Google Earth that parking lot, you could still see the tire marks and the drag strip that Dodge.
No,
yeah, Dodge
that's
poured
cool.
a launch pad in the parking lot there. Like they spent some money, and so I'll never forget that night. Even though we lost, I'll never forget it. It was the start of something really cool. So
yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
You ever think it was going to blow up and be this big of a deal from the jump? I guess not, right?
No, God, no. You know, I think we talked about this earlier. I said, I legit said this to somebody. I'm like, who's going to watch a 30-minute TV show on their phone, you know? and I couldn't watch it. I was on a BlackBerry. And so I didn't see it. I really didn't. It wasn't until about like, I'd say about 6 or 8 months after we started doing them consistently, people started coming up to me in real life. And that was when I was like, whoa, wait a minute. Like you're watching this.
Yeah.
And that's when I knew like it had a chance. But 10 years later, I didn't think I'd still be doing it. When I moved to Georgia, I thought I'd be out of a job. You know, like when I made that decision, I was like, you know, I said to Freiberger, I'm like, I get it. If you're gonna get somebody else, I totally get it, but I gotta go. And so I've been lucky. Real lucky.
How do you like Georgia?
I love it. I love it. Other than the tacos and my friends, you can keep Southern California. You know? I lived there for 39 years, and it's great until you realize there's a whole lot more to this country when you get out of California. Like, trees are great. I like, you know.
Right.
Dude, I had the same realization when I left New York in '81. I had the same realization because my first duty station was Coronado, California, and I couldn't believe,
which is a beautiful place.
It is, but the thing that really got me though is that I realized people are actually nice. You know what I mean? That was the thing that I couldn't believe. Total strangers walking over, hey, how's it going? I'm like, who the fuck are you? Why are you talking to me? Like, I don't know you. You know what I mean? It was weird, man.
The pandemic totally taught me that because, you know, we had masks on going into grocery stores. Nobody can see me. They probably don't know who I am, you know, and you walk through these grocery stores in Georgia and people they're not looking at their phones. They're looking where they're going and they're saying, hi.
Yeah.
You know? And I'm like, that's weird.
It is.
I'm like, I like this. This is nice. And beyond that, it's just dirt cheap to live here. Like where I live, to register a car, it's $20.
Yeah.
$20 to register my car here. So you can have 10 junk cars, you know.
All registered.
It still costs less than one pickup of mine in California. You know?
Yeah, right.
So this
and that ain't
stuff
right.
I got, you know. I love it. I'm definitely, and I'm lucky too because I go back to LA enough for work often enough that I just don't miss it.
Yeah.
I'm guessing you're near the water or on the water in Georgia.
I'm real close to a lake.
Area.
That's awesome.
That's pretty cool.
That's awesome. That's cool. So Cotton chimed in. Did you see Cotton was on?
Oh no, is he here?
Yeah, he's here. He's here.
He's got FOMO.
Yeah.
What?
I asked him to come on. He said he's like I don't know. He's being a wuss. He's scared.
You guys got to get your questions in. We're going to run them past Mike. Things you want to know, good or bad. Get them up there.
Oh, it's that time. Damn.
Already, it's 46. Shit. We only got a few more minutes.
Lower taxes, non-government tax rate. Yeah.
Mike, what are you drinking? You sound like you're on ice. What do you have?
A little Woodford bourbon and some ginger ale.
Oh, that's good.
One of the guys, Bruce wants to know about Pro Street being dead. What's your thought on that?
Who said it's dead?
Do you agree with David Freiberger and think Pro Street is dead?
No, like
taken out of context.
David Freiberger is the reason we just made an episode of Roadkill where we bought an old pink Murata. Sorry. And,
really?
Yeah, we bought an old pink Murata, like ex-Pro Street car from the early 90s. And Mike Cotton rounded up probably 20 or 30 Pro Street cars and we all met in a parking lot in Du Quoin, actually at the fairgrounds where they have,
Yeah.
We went there, and there were 20 or 30 amazing Pro Street cars there. So they're not dead. I don't think they're dead at all. And I think, it's like everything else. It's cyclical.
Yeah.
They're due to come back. Big tire cars are cool, and I don't think they're dead at all. I think, everything just goes in a cycle, and suddenly kids today are going to discover these things and think they're the coolest thing ever. And some old man's going to be like, I already did that,
Let's talk about your 61 Cadillac that you're having put together by MRC.
Yeah.
You did some work. Tell me about this thing. It's like, what, 3,000 horsepower? What are you doing?
I bought this car out of an airport hangar in California because I've always loved the taillights of that car, and that's a 1 year only taillight thing.
Yep.
And I love these drag and drive events where you go to like 4 different drag strips in 5 days, and you have to road trip your car in between and race it every day. And I love that kind of drag racing where your car has to be an actual street car, no tow trucks, none of that stuff. And I'd been doing those the last few years in my 55 Chevy, which really only seats 2 people. And I thought, damn, let's build a Cadillac so I can put all my friends in it and go do one of these.
Yeah.
And but it needs to be fast. And so it's got an 850 cert cage in it, and it's really low to the ground. And we're building a twin turbo big block Chevy that's going to run on alcohol, and it should run in the 8s pretty easily.
Wow.
And then I just thought, well, after we do that, let's try to go 200 somewhere in like a standing mile event,
That'd be cool to do that. Yeah, that'd be cool.
That's it. After that, I'll just take my kids to school.
But wait a minute though. You gotta have AC in it so you can do 200 miles an hour with the AC on.
Oh, well, it's Cadillac, right? So
that's why. Yeah, that too. I mean,
you're gonna have all those things: power steering, air conditioning,
power window. Yeah, there you go. All right.
Like we're keeping, like my goal for the car is the body is 100% stock. Like we're not doing carbon. We're not replacing the windows with a Lexan. The interior's going back in it. Like we tubbed it for 34-inch tires and kept the back seat by doing a triangulated 4-link with really short upper bars. And so my goal is for the thing to look like a Cadillac on the outside, just really low, and just make it stupid fast.
That's awesome. That's cool.
It'll be fun.
That will be fun.
There was a couple questions up. That one of them there, the Hot Rod Power Tour. Are you doing that this year? What's it? June, I think. We had the dates. We were supposed to do it with DEI. You doing it?
No. June is the year I take my family on vacation. So
yeah, the month.
The shoot schedule for us is like compounded between February and SEMA. Like we really don't slow down until December. And so I'm taking my family away for 2 weeks in June, which means the rest of the month is shot. So
yeah,
I think John's going to Power Tour. I think he's going to have his Corvette done, and he'll be. So
yeah, he said he was trying to do Power Tour. Yeah, he did tell me that because he wanted to know if I was going, but I don't know if I'm going yet. I gotta wait and see how I do.
Excited about Power Tour.
Yeah, I want to go, but I'm having back surgery next week, so I don't know if I might not be able to go.
What are we in March? Yeah, you may still be recovering.
Yeah, March 10th. They're putting rods and everything in me, man. So I don't know how good I'll be. I just gotta wait and see.
You'll be bionic. You'll be fine.
I know. I was telling John before the show, I'm gonna get a recording of the $6 Million Man music and just play it when I'm running, or just when I show up in a room.
That's not the first time he's had a rod inserted in him. Don't let him bullshit you. He'll recover fast in your face. He's a veteran.
Well, that was a good question. That guy Keith asked if the coyote in the opening of Roadkill was real, and that is a real dead coyote. So the show had the name Roadkill, and the next shoot we went on to, we broke down somewhere, and we were broke down. One of the camera guys, Dwayne Simpson, looked over, and there was a dead coyote in the road. He shot that shot, and immediately it went in there because I don't think it was in the first episode. And as soon as it went in there, everybody went nuts. They were like, "This is horrible. This is animal cruelty."
God.
Within like 4 episodes, they stopped complaining about it. So
yeah, if you just leave it alone and keep running it, they're gonna back off because they know you're not gonna apologize for it. It's just that simple.
No, we didn't kill the thing. We didn't even run it over. It was just there.
Yeah. It's not your fault. He just happened to be there. Yeah. Wrong place, right time. That's what that was.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Buy a trophy truck.
Did you buy a trophy truck? Did you buy a trophy truck?
No, I bought a Pro 2 truck though.
A Pro 2 truck? Which one is
So
that?
imagine a trophy truck, but with only, half as much horsepower and half.
Oh,
as
I
much
didn't know that. Okay, I didn't know that that's what they called them. I didn't know. I've heard of them. Okay, I didn't know that.
Yeah, trophy truck or trick truck is like, there's levels to
Right.
everything. Score, trophy truck, and then there's like class 1 and there's everyone else. What I bought is like a short course truck that you'd see at like Crandon, Wisconsin.
Okay.
But I bought one that somebody only raced like once or twice and then converted it to a 2-seater. And so I bought it because I want the chassis so I can put something else on it and drive it on the street.
There you go.
Because again, the generally looked invincible to me as a child, except when you now with the magic of technology, when you slow the frames down, you see the front fenders get destroyed every time it landed nose down.
Yeah.
And I'd like to have something you could jump that doesn't get destroyed. So
Yeah. That's cool.
I want to know if you can go to.
Oh, that's Alden, New York. That's the show up. That's the show up by Buffalo. It used to be. I think one of the magazines covered it. Used to be in a town called Marilla, and it was a big one-day show.
Walden, New York.
Okay.
I don't know where Alden is. I've been to Walden.
Going back to play. Are you going to play with a monster truck with Dennis Anderson? Ooh,
dude, I will visit him anytime. That is the coolest dude I've ever met.
He's on the coast. He's like out by Elizabeth City, but like 4 hours from me.
Outer Banks, yeah, North Carolina.
Yeah, Outer Banks, yeah.
Beautiful.
Yeah.
I
knew where he was.
Go by there. His compound is incredible, and it's open to the public. Like you can go there and drive monster trucks, take monster truck rides, and all that stuff.
I drove. I had to take a bunch of the SEAL team guys. They did a big op down at Camp Lejeune. Camp Lejeune, and we drove by it and we saw it, but I couldn't stop. That's the only time I got to see it. I had to get rid of those guys so they could go do what they had to do. That kind of shit. Here's my one question. When you be in Virginia beer's on me. So when you go to Virginia, you got someone willing to buy you beer and bacon.
A couple strips of bacon. That don't take much.
Like
a cheap hooker.
I don't know. In general, I know what I'm doing over the course of like the next 3 weeks. Other than that, I don't know.
Don't worry about keeping the schedule.
Like what's around the corner? What are you working on that nobody knows about? What's up in 23, 24? What are you doing?
There's no secrets, so everybody knows everything. I'm building this boat behind me right here.
Yeah, that looks crazy.
So that's a 21-foot long fiberglass jet boat with a twin turbo 427 LS that I'm hoping goes about $140 and holds 5 people in it.
No.
So I have this 2-seater crazy jet boat. You guys put a picture up earlier. Yeah. But it only seats 2 people, and I was like, "This is dumb." Yeah, like that's super fun for 2 people, but I figured 5 people, that's a party. So, so we're gonna build this other one that rides better and holds more people, and it's for my wife.
So she can hold the kids. I understand. I understand totally.
And so the deadline for that is June for our family vacation. We're going boating, and so this has to be done for that.
Okay.
And then other than that, the only other thing like I'm like actively working towards is Hot Rod Drag Week. And the caddy won't be done, unfortunately. So I think we're gonna take Blasphemy, my 55 Chevy. Other than that, it's just filming.
Are you going to debut the Cadillac? Is there a spot where you think you roll it out?
It went to the PRI show in December, actually, completely unfinished. Like my friends at Quick Performance, they built a crazy rear end for it, and they didn't care that the car wasn't done. Like it had a Bluetooth motor, Bluetooth drive shaft. Like there was nothing in this car. They didn't care. Their rear end was in it, so
that's all that matters. Yeah,
they took it to the PRI show. But I don't know. I basically. I'm hoping that I get the motor here in the next couple of months, and then we start really working on it again. And then end of the year, if I could be driving it again, that would be huge. But it's just hard. I got about 6 days a month to myself right now until like after SEMA. So
you still do Roadkill, you still do Finnegan's Garage, and you still do Fast with Finnegan.
Yeah.
Right? Damn, dude, you're busy.
I don't know how
you're busy.
It's a lot of fun though. Like it gets stressful. At times.
I get it.
It totally gets stressful at times because it's hard to keep up with all the parts for all the cars. You know, and you guys understand that you built so many project cars. You know, if you just have one to focus on and all the shipping and where everything is, you know, if you're just juggling the parts for one car, that can be hectic. But I'm tried doing it for like 3 shows.
Yeah,
so,
It's a good problem to have, though. It's a good problem to have to be that busy. Right?
Yeah, that is the only stressful part about the whole deal is making sure all the things are arriving for all these cars. And other than that, like I'm getting to play with cars, man. It's a lot of fun.
Yeah.
What's the plan for SEMA? You talked about SEMA a couple of times. What do you got set up for SEMA?
I didn't go last year just because I've been traveling so much that I was just like, I'm not getting on another airplane. I'll probably go this year. I think it just depends. Like that time of year, they're all trying to get all these episodes for the 2 TV shows done by a certain date. And so it's one of those things where it's like, sometimes I'm just like, oh man, I don't want to get on an airplane. I just want to stay home with my wife and kids, you know? So if I'm chilled out, I'll go. If I'm not, then I'll just stay home and watch from the side. Thanks to the internet, it feels like I'm there anyway.
Dude, you just drive. You want to relax, just drive. I've been driving forever. Yeah.
Lou drives out every year. Yeah. And he knows exactly where he's staying, what he's going to eat. The truck stops. He can swing down, pick you up. I mean, he's in North Carolina.
It's easy peasy, man. I'm telling you. It's
and then film it for the show. And and with his piece of shit, you will break down.
Hey, whoa, settle down.
He's got an S10 with like 455,000 miles on it. Nowhere.
People still are like, you know, is Roadkill scripted? And I'm like, no, you don't have to. You buy an old car. They'll break.
It happens.
Right. Literally all break. So
it lends itself to it. You know, the car lends itself to the show. It's perfect.
Yeah,
you know?
it's the easiest job ever. Like just hop on Craigslist or Facebook Marketplace, find something fun, go buy it, and just whatever happens, okay, here we go. You know?
Yeah.
You just gotta have the right attitude. That's all.
Duct tape, couple wrenches, you're good to go.
Yeah,
it's awesome. I'm with you on that.
So is Freiberger still in California? Where's he at?
Yeah. He I don't know if he'll ever leave California. I think he'd like to, but I don't think he works more than I do. So I don't know that he'll get the chance to leave anytime soon. That dude films. I think he does 4 shows now.
Really?
Yeah, he does Roadkill Garage, Engine Masters, and then he does a bunch of their special stuff like the Hoopty World Challenge and there's at least one other, I think. But yeah, that guy works more than I do. So when I want to catch up with him, we go film Roadkill, and then we get to talk about whatever he's doing.
Yeah.
Otherwise, I don't really bother calling him because I know I'm interrupting him, you know?
Yeah. Damn.
Yeah, I'll tell you one of my pet peeves, because I'm old school safety glasses, steel toe. When I see him with the flip-flops right from the jump,
it drives John nuts.
It's not one thing. I can't explain it, Mike. I'm like, what? It reminds me of the show Flip or Flop, where the husband and wife are flipping houses, and he shows up to the construction site with nails and shit with flip-flops. When I see Freiberger do that, I'm like, yeah, you're gonna, when you're pulling engines and he's standing next to it, I'm going, dude, you're fucking killing me.
You're not wrong. Like here's the thing is I'll tell you my flip-flop story, and it doesn't involve him. My friend Brian Busby was cool enough to let me swap a motor in my jet boat in the street in front of his house. And he had a really nice house in a nice part of Orange County. And I show up there and they had paved the street like a week before. No. Right.
Still soft.
So Brian and I had rebuilt this supercharged big block Chevy in his garage, and it's 871 blower, 4-inch super chiller underneath it, aluminum head cast iron block. So it was not light, right?
Right.
We roll it down the driveway with his engine hoist.
Oh,
and
no.
The boat's parked in the street, and it gets down to the street, and we start maneuvering it to the back of the boat. Well, the wheels of the hoist start sinking into the asphalt. To the point that we're like grabbing pry bars and lifting it up, rolling it another inch, it sinks again, lifting it up. We're doing this over and over again. And the part I haven't told you is that we didn't have a chain. We had motorcycle tied straps.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
Oh my God, Mike.
So we're getting it close to the boat. It starts bouncing as we're like lifting it off the ground with our pry bars to roll it. It bounces, the strap breaks. The damn big block lands on the oil pan and then falls over.
Oh, my God.
In the middle of the street where the cars
It didn't fall towards the curb.
No,
It went
that's
to
ghetto.
the middle of the street.
Mike, that's ghetto.
That is straight up hood rat shit there, man. That is awesome.
I'm like, well, thank God it didn't land on the boat. All right, the oil pan doesn't look too bad. This isn't so bad. But everybody's freaking out because like the engine hoist is unhappy because it's now broke the casters sideways off, and all this stuff is going wrong. So my friend Mike Finnegan runs home to get his hoist. We're putting orange cones in the street around this big block Chevy that's laying in the road, and Brian starts getting the hoist ready to go back in his garage. Right, so he's in front of it. I pull the bolt out of the top of it to put the boom up. Except when I took the bolt out, I wasn't watching. The boom slid out and came right down on his flip-flop door.
Oh my God.
And didn't pop his toe off, but it made a mess, right? Blood everywhere, you know? So now there's a motorway in the street. Brian's bleeding. I call his dad. His dad comes by. His dad rolls up in a BMW, refuses to take Brian to the ER because his one It's an absolute shit show. That's what I think of when fry rigger wrenches and flip flops.
That's what I say. I watch and go, dude, you're killing me. You're killing me. I don't know what it is, but I told Lou right from the jump, I'm like, this kills me. I can't take it. You know, and it works.
He's impervious to cold too. Like we've been in Idaho in January, and he stood in the snow in flip flops, like as if it was like no big deal. I'm like,
my oldest son is like that.
Dude, I'm a wuss. No, I can't do it.
Forget about it.
My oldest son went up to see his uncle. He lives in Rhode Island. It was like November. It was snow on the ground. They went snowmobiling. He was wearing shorts and sneakers and a t-shirt, and they snowmobiled all day. And his uncle's like, he calls us up that night. He's like, your son's out of his mind. He's not even cold. And we went down to Anderson, South Carolina, and it was cold. It was like 32 degrees, 33 degrees, because they were oh God, it was the brothers who were on Pinks. I can't remember his name now. There were two brothers that were on Pinks. Huh?
Like part of the cast or some of the races?
Yeah, they were part of the cast. I can't remember. It'll come to me, but we're sitting there, we're at the starting line, and me and my son are standing there in shorts and t-shirts. You can see your breath. And he looks at it, he goes, and we're sweating. And he goes, what is wrong with you two? I'm like, dude, we're just burning up. We're just standing there. Everyone else is wearing sweatshirts and jackets, and we're standing in shorts, sneakers. Like a couple of fucking idiots. Yeah.
I met a guy just like you like a week ago. We were ice racing in Minnesota, and I'm standing on a frozen lake, and there's a dude there with no gloves on and no hat. And I look like Randy from A Christmas Story. Like I can't even put my arms down, and this dude is standing there, shaved head, no hair, no hat, no gloves, just stood there all like no big deal.
Yeah. It's nuts. People know it's I don't know. I can't do that anymore. I had it was about 10 years ago that I had to get on blood thinners because I was clotting so much, and I just now I'm cold in 70 degrees. It's miserable.
Oh wow,
so miserable.
Pussy.
Yeah.
Oh, we had sound effects.
We didn't know. We spare no expense on sound effects, Mike.
Mike, let's say I want to get one of those Speed Marine hats. Where do I go to get it?
Oh, dude, plug it.
Yeah.
Thank you.
You're not supposed to stop. You're supposed to act like it's normal. We integrate.
No, I always forget that part. If you want to go out in public and not be naked, you can find lots of clothing at fsmgarage.com.
There you go.
There you go. See that? We try to help. We try to help.
Dude, we're looking out because Lord knows I would have remembered.
God.
It's on the screen. No way. This
Brad.
is literally the most professional podcast I've ever done.
Brad is fast as shit. He's a young dude. He runs circles around me and Lou. Lou and I are old dudes. We're like,
we're just a couple of tards, trying to peck, hunt and peck on the keyboard. That's what we are.
Yeah.
It's just that simple.
There you go.
Brad, you go on there to fsmgarage.com, pick yourself out something nice, all right?
Put it on our tab.
Yeah, send Mike the bill.
Yeah. Got my credit.
Oh, yeah.
Buy a bunch of shit. We'll all wear it next week.
So now you got to tell when you get done, you got to tell Cotton next time you see him that he's got to come on the show.
His fault.
Just quit being a fag and just come on the show. Just
I can't believe, like, as long as you guys have known each other, he's not done this. Like, that's weird to me.
Well, we're in season 2. This what happened was when I left the show, I started doing YouTube videos, and then the building I was in got sold. So in the move back home and all this other stuff, me and John had talked about it for about 4 or 5 years, and we just never did it. And I called him. I was like, dude, we got to do it. Because I just got monetized. I just got in the algorithm, and I didn't want to lose it, And we started doing it, and we did 40 shows last year. We just kept doing it. And we have a good time.
We had some good guests. We had some good guests. A lot of people come on. Wayne Carini. It was actually pretty cool. But how it started was Lou and I were talking on the phone for like hour and 15 minutes, and it rolled through. And we were talking about the pagans, the warlocks, Hell's Angels, and bikes. And it was one of those conversations that just kept rolling. And at the end, I'm like, dude, I don't think people would understand that entire conversation, but maybe they'd want to listen to it. So the light went on. Lou's like, hey, wait a minute. Because some of our conversations, Lou knows a shitload about tattoos all over the world. You wouldn't know, but he goes into this, where they're from, what they mean, prison tattoos, the whole. So he was telling me one day, and I'm like, that's another conversation. So we got into, you know what? Why not go live with it and talk shit online?
Well, you can tell you guys are having fun, and that's how I ended up working with Cotton. Is I've known Cotton forever, and the company came to me and they pitched me this idea for a TV show, and dude, you got to start moving. And so they came to me and they pitched me this idea for this TV show, Faster with Finnegan, but it wasn't with Cotton and Newbern. They had a casting call. They brought people to my house and like we read, we didn't read, but we just BS with other random people. And I was like, these guys are all cool, but I don't know them. Like, we're not going to joke around. Like, I just don't know them. Like, why can't we just use my friends? Can't we just hire my friends to do this? And so what you see on that show is how it is when the cameras aren't around either. So Cotton is that crazy.
Well,
yeah, for Faster with Finnegan, Mike Brumfeld out of High Class Customs out of New Orleans, black guy, he got a hold of me because he's been on the show. He's friends of ours, but he said that they were asking him, to fill that part. He says he knew he didn't fit. He said they were looking for somebody that had, he's an interior guy, trim guy.
Right.
And he said they were looking for engines. They were looking for this. He said it didn't fit, but they were looking for somebody like him. But he said the same thing that you just said. It didn't mix. Didn't jive. And he knew it.
You just can't. I think it's the problem with all the times they've tried to relaunch Top Gear America is you can't fake chemistry. You're either tie with people and you're either punch them in the nuts or you're not. And you just try to force people together. Like, the people are smart; they can see right through it.
Yeah, right.
Like,
when it's produced and it's overdone and it's fake and
like when Rutledge and Tanner and Adam were all together, you could tell those dudes were actually friends, Yeah. And so that version of it was fun to watch. And one of the guys that they auditioned for Fast with Finnegan ended up becoming my friend later on, and I've been to his shop. He's actually come and been on an episode of Fast with Finnegan as a competitor, and his name's John Andrade, and super cool cat. But at the time that they put us together and were like, go do some stuff and we'll film it and see how it is, like, you can't do that in 5 minutes. It just doesn't work.
Right.
No.
Right.
So no, plus you got to jive. It's just a chemistry that you can't cast.
Yeah.
You can't say we got an ad out. We're looking for this guy. It's like looking for a friend.
Yeah.
Forget about it.
They called me for Faster with Finnegan.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Scott Moretti. And I told him, I said, you need to get Mike Cotton. And it was, And he's like, why do I know that name? Why do I know that name? And I could hear him rumbling through papers. He's looking for something while we're doing a Skype call. And he goes, oh, he's on my do not contact list. I said, what do you do not contact list? He said, yeah, they told me that there's like 6 guys on this list. They told me I can't contact them. So you need to tell them that he's your guy. I said, and I told him, I said, because I said, look, I said, Scott, they're always talking, the network's always complaining about they got to find people of color. I'm like, he's your perfect guy. He's half black and Thai. Come on. It's like, he's your perfect guy. And he knows cars.
Yeah.
And
he's sharp.
And he said that he would talk to the production company.
Well, they had to, because we got down to the wire. It was like, I don't know, 2 weeks, something like that, before they were coming to my house in Georgia to film, and they didn't have anybody. And I was ready to bail on the whole thing. I was like, nah, dude, I'm not gonna do this. Like, I don't even know who I'm working with, you know.
Yeah.
And finally, I just said to him, I'm like, just get my friends. I'm like, just give us 6 episodes, get my friends. If it sucks, you'll know it, and you won't have spent much money on it, you know.
Right.
So
that's awesome.
It all works.
Mike, listen, I appreciate you coming on. We had actually Rick Dorr booked, and then Tori got a hold of me, and I said, yeah, move Rick Dorr. We got to have Mike Finnegan. So we pushed Rick to the 16th. He didn't care. I mean, it is what it is. But I know you're busy as shit. We can tell talking to you here, and I appreciate you coming on. I mean, great guest, great show. Taking the time to check us out and do our thing. But it's all good.
This was fun for me. Thank you guys very much. It's
an
honor and privilege. I appreciate it.
Got to do something. We got to do something to, just waste time. We got to.
No, I'll tell you, a lot of guys chime in. I think it's at the end of the day. I get emails all the time about it. Makes my day. You don't understand how important it is. And I'm like, it's just me and Lou talking shit, but it is what it is. I mean, I'm sure you get the same thing. People are thanking and telling you it makes a difference in their lives. It's sort of strange.
That's the best compliment you could get.
Right.
You
put a smile or give somebody a boost. What else do you have? Right.
Yeah. Definitely.
All right. So here's the deal, Mike. Say goodnight.
Good night, everybody.
Thanks, Mike.
John.
Going. Wow. If I say goodnight, you're gonna throw me off if I say goodnight.
I'll just tell Brad kick you off. See, there you go. All right, everybody. I hope you enjoyed the show. Mike, thanks for coming on. Remember, what was it? FS FinneganSpeedMarine.com. You know what it was. Just watch the show again, and you'll see it when it comes across. Next week we have, next week we have Bogey on Tuesday, and then we have John Hotchkiss of Hotchkiss Suspension. So next Tuesday is going to be a special show. So you guys tune in. I'll post it up everywhere it's got to be. John will post it up so you guys know what's going on. Until then, enjoy your day. Have a good week. See you later.